Hey everyone, this is James here with some tips for choosing the right Airbnb. Now, Airbnb is a really useful tool if you're staying somewhere maybe you haven't stayed before or just a new place where you need a relatively inexpensive place to stay and you don't want to deal with hotels. Now, what we're going to do today is just look at the Airbnb site and just go over some tips for that. So, the first thing you're going to do, this is the home page here. And what you're going to want to do is type in a destination. So, I decided Miami Beach. We're all looking for something somewhere warm to go. So, we're going to look at Miami Beach, Florida. And we're going to let's look for maybe do September. Let's do a weekend in September. Let's do September 18th to the 20th, let's say. So you can put in your range of dates there, and then you want to add your guests. So let's do 4 guests just to start. All right, so we'll see what's available. So the good thing about Airbnb is that you can really get ones that are anywhere and where you want to stay. So we're in Miami Beach here. So the first thing to know is that you want to use your search filters. So there's all kinds of search filters you can use on Airbnb, type of place. So you want to decide whether you want a private room in maybe a place where there's other rooms, or if you want an entire place, if you want a whole apartment to yourself and you don't want to be bothered, sort of. I've stayed in both. I've stayed in ones. Depending on how many people you have, there might be some that are in a place where there's like apartments or something like that. So you want to choose that. So for this, if we're going to have 4 people, let's choose an entire place. So we'll do that. You also can put in a price range if you want. For now, let's keep that off so we can see what our options are. And then this is the important one here. So here you can put in to start beds and bedrooms and bathrooms. That's always important. You want to decide, depending on who you're with, if you're with couples or if you want everyone to have their own bed or whatever you want to do, you can put that in here. There's also bedrooms. So if you are fine having everyone in like a couple of bedrooms, just all pushed into the same thing, that might be fine. Or if you want a place with more bedrooms, with bigger space, more space to spread out into, you can put that in your filter too. There's really all kinds of filters you can use. There are ones if you really are specific, like you want a kitchen in your Airbnb or air conditioning or Wi-Fi or anything like that, you can click any of those, and it'll specify you and it'll concentrate on just those properties that have those specific accommodations for you. So we're going to go ahead and search. We'll do show 300 stays. So it's going to be 300. So you're going to want to zoom in on the map here. That's the most convenient way to do it. There's a bunch all on the beach here. So you can zoom in, and as you zoom in, it kind of shows all the different price tags and things like that. So if we click on some of the ones here, we have different amounts of bedrooms and beds depending on the type of place. So if you click on this one, we can see a listing. So this is a pretty nice place here. It's important to look at the photos. That's always important to do just because you want to see what you're staying in. So this one looks like it's pretty professional looking, nice photos here. And so you got a kitchen. I think the important thing is to understand what kind of listing you're looking at. It's good to see the arrangements, obviously. So this one has 2 queen beds in one bedroom, 1 queen bed in another one. There's all the amenities there, elevator, Wi-Fi, kitchen. We also want to read a little bit about just the reviews and making sure that this is going to fit your criteria. So we have down here, we have check-in and check-out. So it's check-in after 4, check-out after or before 11 rather. And another thing I've seen in the past is different types of check-ins. Sometimes the person checking in, you meet the person who owns the property. Sometimes they want you to go get the key out from a mailbox or something like that. So it really depends what kind of place you're staying in, and who makes the rules. Because that's the thing with Airbnb, is that the owner really can make all the rules, and make all kinds of little rules to fit their specifications. So you want to make sure before you commit to something that it fits all of your expectations as well. So it's definitely important to look at the amenities, as I was saying before. One important one that I've thought about is bed sheets. So this one, for instance, has bed sheets. It says here towels, bed sheets, soap, and toilet paper. So this is a really full service one, which it's a little bit pricey, but pretty good amenities here. Because the bed sheets, believe it or not, are not, it's not a hotel, so it's not the kind of Airbnb hosts are not required to provide bed sheets even, which is something I only learned recently, but it's a key thing, obviously, to know, because if you're not planning on bringing your own sheets or your own amenities, you want to know that the place you're staying has them. So always check down the bottom, and make sure all the amenities are what you want. The other thing you want to do is you want to check the rules, because you never know what specific rules an owner might have. So this one, it looks like just kind of the check-in, no smoking, no parties or events, security deposit. So there's one for this one, but you want to make sure you check all of those, because sometimes there's specific age ones. Like there might be places where they want you to be at least 25 years old, and you just want to make sure you don't get caught in something where you commit and then find out that either you're not 25 and you can't rent it, or there's some legal thing, or there's something that the owner wants you to do that you're not able to do. And yeah, as I was saying before, with the pictures, make sure the description fits the pictures. Make sure that's an important thing. If they say they have so many beds, how close are those beds together? What kind of beds? So these look like kind of almost like a hotel room in that case. But there are some where they might cram beds into a corner or something like that, and you want to just know what the setup is of a place before you commit to it. So if we go back to our search and look at some of these other ones, this one's a little bit cheaper here. If we click on that listing will come up. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, Miami Beach, great view, which obviously you'd hope if you're down there, it's a great view. This one looks like, you can also see they have the towels provided there. These are a little bit blurry, but you can kind of get an idea. And this one's a little bit less expensive. This one has a balcony. See, this one's a self-check-in, for instance, so you can check in with a doorman. So that one they have you do on your own. You have the 2 queen beds in each room, and you have all your amenities and rules and things like that. Another thing you want to do is check the reviews. These are all pretty simple ones saying it's a good place. This one only has 6 reviews. So again, probably the more reviews, the better. If you go out to our search here, this one has 22 reviews. So you can kind of look and see what people are saying about it. Another thing that will come up on Airbnb is if a host cancels a reservation, it'll, I think, automatically make a review. So it'll show that. So some of these, obviously there'll be some negative reviews. Floors are dirty and gritty. So again, you have to decide kind of, is it just an angry person? Was it a bad place to stay that one time? But you have to kind of read the reviews and get a general vibe, because I think there'll always be some negative reviews if you have a place that's stayed in a lot. But you want to make sure there are no consistencies. Like if there's, 10 or 15 people all saying the same thing, that's when there's a red flag, and you want to kind of regroup and make sure you're not staying in a place that you're not going to like. So the most important thing is to just get the accommodation you expect. You want to make sure you're getting what you pay for, and also checking all the fees and making sure everything adds up in the end. I'm James. Thanks for watching this video. And for more on Airbnb, check our next publication. Thanks.